Hello everybody and welcome back to another C++ programming video. And in this video, we are going to be going over doing actual code and playing around with structs or records. So we've already gone over how to call upon and make a struct. Here we're going to go over on doing actual code. So you may notice that I have all of this already set up. So I would recommend copying this down because I'm going to be using these data values throughout this program. Okay, so now you should have these all copied down. If you don't, pause the video, and now let's just get to the coding right off the bat. So first up, I'm going to show you, you're going to call the variable by doing something like this. Let's say that there was actually a typo in the submission in when somebody was saying, oh, this house was built in 1965. Well, let's say that they made a mistake and they were looking at the wrong house, and instead of typing in the correct date, which is 2005, they typed in 1965. So let's change that. So first thing that you're going to do is you're going to write in type of house. Keep in mind on code blocks, for some reason, this does not autocorrect. I do not know why. It does autocorrect everything else for some reason, though. If you write in type of house, like if you write in house type, it autocorrects, or auto types. So if you write in type of house, dot, year built, then you're gonna write in is equal to instead 2005, and now you can just change it like that, and that will change when the year was built. So now we're just gonna see out, and then we're just gonna copy and paste this statement right there. And you can see it says that it was built in 2005. Okay. So we see that calling this variable right here worked. Okay, so now let's try using conditionals on these structs. So first thing is if, or let's just write this. If house, or if type of house dot year built is equal to 2005, or is not 2005 to 2010, see out house was built in the last decade. And so now let's write in a comment right here. Do that. Now run this program. It's obviously going to print nothing because the house was not built in the last decade. But if I switch this up to like 2015 instead, then it would print out house was built in the last decade, which is great. Exactly what we want. Okay, So that's using conditionals with record structs, or structs, whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to call it structs for the remainder of this chapter. Now, the main reason, just going over what the purpose of using structs is, the main reason that you will ever use a struct is because they are easy to, organize. You want your program to be as organized as possible. And structs are good because you're going to be able to declare all your variables in a certain point, in a certain just area, and then also declare those variables. You're able to declare all of those variables in a certain group, and now the way that you access those groups is, of course, by typing in the house type, or just typing in the name of the struct, and then you type in the variable. And that makes it very easy to organize your variables, because whoever is reading your code, and when you're typing up your code, you know for sure that this variable belongs in this area and is declared in this way. So you don't have to scour your entire code just to look for what variable is what. So that makes it easy. And it's also easy to assign these to subproblems already inside of these smaller problems, so that you can, of course, just make it a little bit more organized. Now, the main difference between structs and arrays is the fact that structs can have any sort of value in them. They could have int, year, they could have int, double, string, long, float. They could have all types of data values. But array can only have one type, and that's the type that you declared it with. But the main reason for using an array is so that you can have it very easy to access data, meaning that's going to be very easy for the computer to access the data that it needs. That is the main difference. In one case, you want the computer to have easy access to the data, and the other case, you want you, yourself, the user, to have more access to the data. So now chances are you're not going to be using structs a lot in loops. You're going to be just normally using them in structured programming, which is fairly simple. You're just going to be using them in conditionals, and they're going to be just, you're not going to be using them as much as arrays, if I'm going to be honest. This is one of the, hidden subjects of C++. You're going to learn it at some point, of course, but you really don't need to learn it right off the bat. Anyways, that is how you can use C++ structs in conditionals. And some of the other ways that you can use structs in C++. Now remember, structs are really not that special. They're just variables that you call upon by calling upon another term. Which having to call upon another term, despite making it a bit longer to type that extra term up, very much organizes your code. So that's the main difference between a variable and a just enumeration. Struct. Okay, so I hope you had fun in this programming example video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.